Welcome to Daniel Reviews. I'm Daniel Goodwin, and today we are looking at a precision electric screwdriver set from XCool. Let's get into it. In a previous video, I pretty much raved about another XCool product, the laser level that suctions itself to the wall. It kind of sounds pretty fantastic, but when I used it, it worked really well, and I was blown away by it. So I was very thrilled with that laser level. Highly recommend it. I'll try to have the link to both the video and the laser level down below. And if you haven't seen it, check it out because it's a pretty cool product. That said, this piqued my interest because I recommend everybody have a small precision screwdriver set. If you've ever tried to open up electronics, your computer cases, your children's toys, Nerf guns, whatever you got to do, trying to do it with your standard screwdriver set is going to be a challenge, and something like this gives you a lot of options. So let's go through it. All right, so what do you get in the case? Well, you get a very interesting, I wouldn't have expected that with a screwdriver set, but kind of a flat-edged metal, this is not focusing, sorry, kind of like a spade tool, as well as a pair of flat-handled tweezers, charging cable, and then this very sleek metal box. Like, actually this is like really cool, like a kind of a gunmetal steel blue with the XCool logo on it. Pretty cool. Feels really nice and solid in hand. And let's see how this, there we go. Okay, so that's how that opens up. And there's your case with all your bits. Oh, interesting, including, I don't know if you see, drill bits. Wasn't expecting that. And then of course your precision Phillips heads, several flat heads, even a few small hex. So that's really cool. All right, let's see how. There we go. So cool. All right, so you got the screwdriver unit itself. It is very slender, which is what you want. It's a precision screwdriver set, but it's got a really cool, kind of like an LCD screen. Hopefully that's showing up a little bit. That kind of flashes battery life, what mode you got it in, and I think you can set between high and low. I don't know about the high and low. Also, pretty cool ring light that illuminates when you're screwing, so you can see what you're doing. That's helpful. And then of course you have the full set of screwdrivers. Now what's cool about this is, I don't know how well this will show, but inside this, where you put the screwdriver, there's these metal charging ports and then a USB-C here. So when you put this back in your case, like that, you can just plug in your USB-C and it'll charge the whole thing. So you can slide all this back into its case and charge it. Okay, I'm going to use this little thing to kind of point with these. So you have 6 different drill bits, and you can see that, well, maybe you can't see this, but these are all magnetic, so they just slap back in there. So you can use this to, I don't know if that's the best intended case, but you can take one out, and then it just snaps back into place when you put it there. So that's really cool. Magnetically holds it in place. That's pretty handy. You've also got a replacement, sorry, I'm not showing it, replacement tip for the end of the screwdriver in case you need to use that for a wider. All right, so in order to put in the actual different screwdriver bits, You do have to, I did have to unthread this and take out the little drill bit tension piece. So that is something that, since I'm primarily going to be using it as a screwdriver, I don't think I'll use it as a drill. Like if I need to do any drilling, I'm probably going to use a, well, something, you know, I'm going to use an actual drill, not a little precision screwdriver. It's nice to have the option, but that's not what I'm going to use it for. And then the bits just pop out, which is pretty easy. And then now I see why they gave you the little tongs. It's a little easier to remove things with that. So that's a very precise, I don't know if it'll focus on this, but this is a very, very precise Phillips head. So you're working with small electronics, again, a lot of children's toys here. This is going to be a nice match. The charging port is right here. Let's charge this up and see how it works. One thing I'll mention on the case, there is an indent here, but there's one here on this side. So it, in theory, should not matter which direction when you slide it back together. I say that in theory, it should still click and connect like that, and then you press this release to pop out. That said, I don't know that it matters too much, but it shouldn't matter which direction. It's ambidextrous in that sense. When it's charging, you can tell the progress bar by the little LED lights. This is literally one of the smallest screws I've used. This is almost as small as a glasses screw. Wow. So that was pretty useful. And then just to screw it back in. Nice. For some comparison, this is the screwdriver that I've been using probably for the last 10 years, something like that. Obviously not even remotely the same fit and finish. This is much sleeker, all metal. This has got a lot of rubber and plastic. This actually broke. The this part screws on, and I have to hold it together with some rubber electrical tape to keep the batteries in there working. And it's fairly slow comparatively, much faster. So and just a much smaller overall frame. So you can tell this is just a whole nother level versus something like this. Plus this comes with all of these bits, but also all of these as well. So just an absolute truckload of different bits to use. Getting extremely fine point. You can see how small that is. This is very precise. Next, I brought out my limited edition Deadpool Nerf Blasters. Just wanted to show you, because these are a good example of pretty small screws that are deeply recessed. They're way deep into the shell, and that's where this tool set's going to work really well for you. You have a couple options in that you have, of course, these here, but also you have some longer set here. So actually, I think we'll try this one. Slide that on there. Make sure that gets in there. And then, yeah, so that's going to be really nice for something like this. Oh, wow, that's super fast. Let's see. That one's really in there. I actually might have to do it the old school way. It worked so well on the first one. There we go. So some of them are just torqued a little too tight. There we go. Interesting. Let's put it back in. Yeah. Interesting. So worst case, you can always use it as a manual screwdriver if it's you got a situation where it's just really tight for some reason. But for the most part, it seems to work pretty well and very fast. Nice. All right. Well, so quick thoughts on this. It's definitely it's a very high quality item. I really appreciate the finish, the fit. More drill bits than you'll probably ever need. I mean, you're not going to look. I doubt you'll come across a situation where you need a bit and you not find it here in this case. Pretty impressive, really. There, I like the rechargeable aspect of it. You can just plug in the case. Whereas on my old one, I had to swap out batteries. Now, granted, I probably only changed the batteries in this once ever, but you know, it's just not on the same plane as a nice kit like this. I was a little surprised when I was taking the screws out of the old Kronos blaster. Some of them are torqued down pretty good, and if you've ever taken apart one of these, you'll know they use Loctite on the screws, on some of them anyway. So it's not surprising to me that it couldn't just torque its way through it, because I mean, obviously it's a precision screwdriver, it's not a brute force screwdriver, and that's, you know, I've dealt with that before. You sometimes have to use a manual screwdriver on these things. But that's maybe the only negative, because I think it's for 99% of your actual use cases where you're not dealing with screws with Loctite on them. This is going to be more than sufficient. And the nice thing is you won't, because it's, what do I want to say? You won't worry about stripping out the screws. That's what I'm trying to say. So very, very nice presentation, nice package. Love the little features, love the little ring light around the screwdriver bits. Just a solid recommendation from me on this one. All right, that'll wrap up this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If not, we'll have another one soon, and maybe that'll be the one for you. Until next time, take care of yourself.